Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Royal Instinct. I am your host. I am the future of the world. I am the one true king who has come here to take over. I am building my empire for the betterment of humanity. Um, you know, there are many idiots in the world. There are many charlatans in the world. There are many, yeah, even your government leaders that you elect, they don't have your best interest. They are selling, your nations out to the World Economic Forum. They will have you locked up in a cage, like a lab rat, where where you will own nothing and pretend to be happy. You'll be you'll be living in the metaverse. You with your VR headsets and your virtual porn, and you'll be distracted. You'll be milked for all your resources, and before you realize what has happened to you, you'll be discarded and disposed of in a not very noble way. However, that's not the type of future I want for people, for humanity, and I've taken it upon myself to guide the world, guide the people who are open to, who can kind of see what's happening in the shadows, to a better life. And I'm looking for 100 people to also build their kingdoms, alongside me. What fun would it be if I'm the only ruler in the world? I'd rather, be friends with 100 people who also want to rule alongside me, and together we'll form different nations, different kingdoms. Will lead planet Earth to a new dawn of civilization. Today we're looking at a video by a guy called Dan Martell. I came across it on my suggested video algorithm. I think the video is called "I've read 1,800 books. Here are the top 10 on how to make money" or some shit. We'll go into it in a minute, but you know, I've read a lot of self-help books. I've read a lot of books in general. I'm quite well read, on most subjects. And what I realize is it's great having all this information, but unless you're fucking executing on it, unless you're putting things into practice, it's gonna drive you just insane, right? Like, because you also have to understand this, like the way a human works is like we take information in, and then if we're not testing these theories out, um we don't actually know if it works, because it's just hypothetical in your fucking head. You have to become a scientist in a lab and test out your ideas. And the 100 people I'm looking for, I suggest you become a subject matter expert in something that is of interest to you. Okay, become an expert at it, rise to the top, be seen as a point of authority, and you'll be happy for the rest of your life, because you'll be working at something that you have a true passion about. You'll be well rewarded for it. You'll get paid. You get applauded, accolades for it. People come seeking your guidance on the subject, and you'll make more. You'll be one of the most wealthiest people in the world. You're one of the most famous people in the world, and then you'll be literally hanging out with the elites. Um, the hottest women in the world will be throwing themselves at you. It's literally, you'll be living life like a king, which is why I call this channel Royal Instinct, because we have that inclination, we have that instinct within ourselves to be like, do you know what, like, fuck being here at the bottom, like, let's rise to the top. And if you're inclined to join me on this journey, join me in this battle, against the evil forces in the world, then go to royalinstinct.com, and you can get on the mentorship, and then we can work together one on one to strategize and build your path to success, to start living the high life. But let's get into this video and see what this guy has to say. He's read 1,800 books, so I hope he's got something profound to say.
I've read over 1,800 books, and these 10 will make you rich.
So, just quickly, this is when you read a lot of books, a lot of self-help books or any books in subject. After you read 10 of them, okay, you now have your brain will form patterns of, okay, actually these books all said the same thing on this part of the subject, and then this is where they were different. These are the opposing views. Your brain will then be like, okay, out of those 10s, it will summarize its own book based on what it believes to be true and not true. And if you're testing it out, and then you'll know for certain which things are true and not true, right? Then once you've read those 10, and then every other book that you read will be against the first that set of information that you have. And then you'll basically pick and choosing whether is this information relevant to me, or do you just discard it? Because most of it then becomes this like, oh, I've actually already understand all these parts. I've already read these things in other books. So this isn't new information. So this guy, right? He comes with his top 10, right? Which means he's read 1,790 books that weren't relevant. Okay, maybe he got one or two ideas, right, from every subsequent book. Maybe there was like one page that was of any meaning to him. But just read one fucking book, put it to a test before you move on to the next one, because I'm sure this guy 1,800 books. I mean, even if he's reading what 200-300 books a year, if he's reading 300 books a year, that's still what 6 years that it took him to amass that knowledge. And I'm sure he didn't. I think it probably took longer. If he's reading 100 books, I mean that's 2 books a week. um do you have that much time to waste? We have a small window of opportunity where you can become an elite, right? Before AI takes over, because before you're plugged into virtual reality, yeah, you have 1 or 2 years left where you can now get in on the ground floor, start building a kingdom, right? Because if you're not doing it, right, someone else will, right? This is the thing. It's not like if you're not doing it, your competition will do it, right? And you know, you by becoming a subject matter expert, right, you're eliminating competition as you progress more. And you have to do it very quickly, because in a couple of years AI will be your competition too. Okay, AI tools are still like kind of just like, well, how do you use it best, right? Like, how do we monetize this, right? Once rich people are fucking paying for this shit straight out, straight cash. Okay, you're gonna have to get the monthly plan if you're lucky, and then miss one payment, you're off the fucking software. Do you get what I mean? So getting on the ground floor right now, all you need is a fucking microphone, a fucking camera, and an internet connection, and then you're good to go, right? You can start building fame. You can start becoming a subject matter expert, living the high life, being a king. Like, do you want to be part of the working class your whole life, or do you want to be a fucking elite? Do you get what I mean? There's no nobility to being a fucking you know hard working person anymore. Do you go? I mean, no one respects them. The most famous people are scammers, right? Donald Trump, Gary V, Andrew Tate, right? All these people, all they are, they're scammers. Okay, Andrew Tate, he literally built a whole course about him scamming. He used to say that he used to scam people on webcams. Um, so yeah, so the criminals are winning right now because they don't have any moral judgment. They don't have any ethical, questions or guilty feelings holding them back. They just jump straight in, no fear, no fucks given. And I want that for you. The first thing we need to do is sort out all these fearful thoughts you have in your head. Get rid of that fear. Realize that you actually, if you're a good person and you want the best for people, that you're actually doing the world a huge favor. And if you're not willing to do it, an evil person will be willing to do it. So I want you to really think about this, and decide if you want to join me, and if you feel like it's part of your destiny to save the world before the elites, Klaus Schwab, you know, the WEF, World Economic Forum, all these elites, you know, they had a whole island. Like, you know, you think Jeffrey Epstein's the only one? Jeffrey Epstein's the only one who got caught, right? Who else is doing some naughty business on some dodgy islands? Do you get what I mean? Like the thing is, we won't ever even know because we can't even afford to get, you know, to go on these islands to see what the fuck's going on, right? Be a good person. Yeah, don't be a Jeffrey Epstein. Be a billionaire, but do it to save humanity. You owe it to you. You owe it to your family, to your ancestors, and all the future generations that will come after you. Okay, and let's go back to what this guy has to say.
Long time ago, I got myself in trouble, ended up in rehab, and somebody wrote a book on Java programming, and I found that book. Learning how to code became my new addiction. It filled a hole inside of me, and from that one book, I went on a journey.
See, I mean, that's a beautiful backstory, an origin story, a beautiful Odyssey story. The thing is, right, like you ain't gonna find the magic book, right, where you now learn the something that will make you truly happy. Like even if you start coding now, it's like AI can outcode you already, right? Like there's literally you can go and open AI, fill in a prompt to come up with some code, and it will come up with code bug free, 1,000 times better than any human can, right? The game's over, right? Like going to university, competing to be the best in your field is over, okay? The only reason you should do it, right, is to gain knowledge, right? And then make content out of it, right? Project to the world who you are, the type of leader you believe you are, become a subject matter expert that's famous. If you're a subject matter expert but no one knows about you, who the fuck gives a shit? Okay, like you need to become famous. You need to become someone that's worth knowing, noteworthy, someone who other people will look to as a point of authority. You know, if you have that leadership, um, that instinct inside you, that leadership instinct to be a ruler, to guide humanity to a better tomorrow, then I suggest you jump on the mentorship now. Go rawinstinct.com. You know, if you think it's fucking interesting the shit I say, you should jump on it because like I'm sure you know someone who I rub people the wrong way all the time. You know, I'm definitely not anyone's cup of tea. But once in a while, I come across someone who really understands me, and they like a long lost soulmate, like a long lost friend or long lost twin brother. You know, they come to me and they're like, "Oh, do you know what? I fucking love it when you say shit like that." And they have the same ideas in their heads, right, of how the world should work, right? But they want to go about it in a different way, right? Those people tend to be my best friends, right? Those people tend to be, you know, I respect them. I see them as a king, and I want to help those people. I want to find those people. I want to assemble those people into one place, into one community where we together plan to overtake the elites, become elites ourselves, and guide the world for a better tomorrow. Yeah, that's what's exciting me at the moment. I want to meet those people, those 100 people, and if you believe that you are also one of these people, then I hope we run into each other one day, right? Like this is my back call. I'm literally broadcasting to the world. I'm like, come, right? All the kings fucking assemble, right? Let's form a round table of elites. Be the future leadership.
To acquire knowledge. My dad did something really cool. He said, as long as you finish the book, you have an unlimited budget to buy the next book. And I've applied that to my life. I have an unlimited budget to invest in my knowledge. Today, I read every day. I think of it as my way of programming my mind. 10 pages is usually the minimum.
So this guy, he reads 10 pages a day minimum a day, and he's like, "Oh, I've got unlimited knowledge," blah blah blah. Well, when AI comes in, right, you won't be able to keep up, right? You physically can't keep up. Right? While he's there busy reading 10 pages a day, AI just downloads the book into its fucking database, right? And then recall the entire book instantly while you had a vague idea, right, of what was said. Okay. You won't be able to outwork AI. Okay. You have to become the ruler of AI. And the best way to do it, right, while AI is in this infancy, while you can still outwork it at this point, right? And it isn't so much you becoming a fully fledged I know 100% about this subject. You're progressing your ideas all the time, but as you're progressing your ideas, you're forming new ideas as you go along. Okay, you're coming up with your own take on things of how they work, and the thing is, like human beings, we trust. I mean, we trust other humans. We trust other people that look like ourselves. You know, how can we trust AI? Okay, we can trust people. That's why I want good people to become subject matter expert that I can look at and be like, all right, do you know what? Like, I've known you for X number of years now. Like other kings who I help in my mentorship, it's like I'm helping you. I can see, because you might be a point of authority on something like engineering, okay? Um, and then if me and you have a friendship, if me and you have that trust and respect for each other, then if you tell me something about engineering, I'll believe you because we have that loyalty towards each other, right? Humans have that loyalty towards each other, but AI doesn't give a shit. Okay, AI can make up stuff, right? Because that's the other thing that we become so reliant on this technology that somewhere along the line, AI might just be like, "Oh, I'll just make this thing up," right? You'll read it, you won't know it's made up, and you'll be like, "Oh, AI said so, so I have to believe it. Yeah, it must be true then." Because you then won't have the capability of researching that shit yourself anymore. It will get lost as humans become lazier and lazier. So, know, if you want to build a more open, honest world for tomorrow, if you have to become that leader, you have to decide enough is enough. I don't trust anyone else, right? But I do trust myself. I do trust my will, and there's only a few of us out there, right? Like, not everybody thinks like me and you, right? Like, there's only a couple of us here, and I'm trying to find these people, right? Like, like in the X-Men, I'm trying to find all these mutants. I'm trying to get us all into one room so we can, come up with different ideas that AI can't compete with. Well, at this point, it can't with the ability of humans to be creative and form communication, form like alliances of similar minded people that lead humanity to something more prosperous. Like we have literally just a couple years where we can still do this. Like I'm literally like rallying the troops here. Okay, if you want to be one of the soldiers who fights alongside me, right, on the front line, swinging your swords, right, then you know, this is your call to adventure. This is your call to do something. Like your whole ancestry has been building up to this moment where you decide that fuck it, I am a king, right? For all those people that came before you, your grandfather, your great 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 grandfather, right? The first in line, thousands of years of lineage, right? Who fought, the elements, who fought wild beasts, who fought armies, right? Who died for uh, a utopian world where his offspring will have a better life. Yeah, for all those people that came before you, you owe it to them. And if you feel like you have that power within you, if you feel like there is something inside you that's destined for something great, then I suggest you join me and fight the evils of the world before we become caged up and just a leaf in the wind, and then no one will remember us at that point.
And what I'm doing every time, I'm not just reading, I'm studying books, because I believe the words we read in the
I mean, while this person's busy studying, me and you need to be busy conquering, right? Because for all the fucking books he reads, right, me and you gaining fame, becoming authorities, becoming a group where we fight side by side, where we build our armies, where we build our kingdoms, expand our territory. He won't be able to compete with us. Okay, we'll be ruling our kingdoms. He will have to decide whether he wants to live in our kingdom or if he wants to live in AI's kingdom.
The words we tell ourselves, the beliefs we have creates our future. So I've read over 1,800 books, and I've had to distill it into these 10 books.
You know, reading 18,000 books, 1,800 books, sorry, he tries to make it sound like a flex. Is it really a flex? Right? If you can just go on Google and be like, okay, here, and he sounds like he's done us something like a special favor, but he's like, oh, these 10 books. I bet you they're like obvious bait books anyway, right? That you've already read. But let's see what he's got to say. I can always see one of them is going to be 48 Laws of Power here. Stephen Covey, How to Win Friends and Influence People. So these are like, if you go on any fucking website, right, and type in top 10 books to read, right, like the website would have fucking given you the answer. And this guy then he ignored, right, the top 10 books that everyone recommends, and then thought, let me find my own books. And then he read them. Oh, I don't really need them because there's no information that's of value in those books, right? So he discards the books that he read, spent like fucking 10 years reading them, 10 pages every day, and he's back to the list that is on every fucking website, right? Every idiot recommends How to Win Friends and Influence People. Every idiot recommends 48 Laws of Power. Every idiot recommends Stephen Covey, the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Like, so he's come up with nothing fucking new. I bet you Think and Grow Rich is on the book on his little list as well.
Books that will make you rich. The first book is Secrets of a Millionaire Mind. So, fun fact, this book back in the day, it came with a ticket to go to the event. And the reason why this book was so important to me, it was actually the first seminar where my brother and I invested in a coach,
So it's just a book about the millionaire mindset, right? So I mean, you Think and Grow Rich, right? If you any book by Brian Tracy, you know, I mean, you can pick up any of these fucking books and get the same mindset. It's like, oh, think positive thoughts, like, oh my days, like this guy's wasted his own time and now he's wasting your time.
A trainer in actual education and ourselves. Now, what makes this book unique is that it really attacks the mindset that keeps us poor. And it's not financially poor more than a lack of abundance, a lack of joy, a lack of growth,
So he's just using fucking buzzwords like abundance and growth and mindset, Where's the practical advice? Where's the practical advice? I'll read this book and you have the mindset and you'll be thinking about abundance mindset. Look, become a king, right? Automatically, you'll be living an abundant life, right? Kings don't have this problem of, oh, how do I get the mindset of a wealthy person? Because, if you become a king, the money goes to the king, right? Automatically, people will be throwing money at you. People want to know what you have to say if you become a subject matter expert, okay? You'll be giving fucking TED talks. You'll be going to Elon Musk's birthday to give a presentation on, on eugenics or whatever fucking thing that you want to be the subject matter expert in. Right? You'll be on Joe Rogan's show giving your opinion about whatever thing fires you up, whatever thing that you are passionate about, okay? These people are telling you to read 10 books. And then what? Okay, like, so you read those 10 books and then you're rich? No, then you're still back to square one because you haven't implemented anything, right? Fuck listening to these people, right? You only have... life is too short, okay? Life is too short. You only have a small amount of time. Especially with AI coming, you have such a small amount of time where you can do this, right? Jump on board, right? Start making content, right? Become a subject matter expert, become famous, and live like a king. And then you can fucking spend the rest of your life reading books if you want.
Understanding that if we want to have more, we have to become more. What I learned specifically from this book is, one, is your financial blueprint shapes your financial destiny. And everybody's got them. They probably don't even realize.
So, I mean, you might take a fucking spend a month like deciding what your financial blueprint is. Like what? So you want you to self audit of oh, where are you spending money? Do you really need to buy that stuff, that coffee? Like, do you think a king thinks like that? A king thinks about conquering, about making, you know, how to take over nations, how to guide humanity to a better place. And this guy's thinking about how do you do a financial audit on your life.
It. And what is the new blueprint you have to acquire? You got to think rich to become rich. The mindset matters.
You got to think rich to become rich. Let me tell you how stupid that fucking is, right? I can do it right now. I'm thinking rich. Right? Money's not fucking pouring in, right? What you need to do is go out there and conquer, okay? You need to take over, just like I'm doing, right? I'm making content every day. I'm taking over the algorithm. I'm taking over the internet, okay? People are going to come to me to be the expert on how to build a following, right? Because what I'm doing, nobody's doing, right? It's very stealth mode until it fucking just explodes. The next thing you know is like, oh, who's the ruler of the world, right? Like, right? Me. The elites don't want you to have this information, okay? Like, the algorithm will try and suppress this information, but because we are truth seekers, because we are good, honest people, because we have, I believe the universe does rewards those people that have a positive motivations, let's say. Okay. We cannot lose. We cannot lose. We All we need to do is we need to remove fear from our lives, because that's the only thing that can stop you. Okay, I've managed to do that. It took me a long time. I had to fight my own demons. I battled many years of self doubt, uh, depression, moments of crisis of confidence, low self esteem, low self belief. But I came at the other end. I figured out, do you know what? Like, this is how I make myself confident. This is what confidence is, right? Like, it's this is how I express myself. This is how I bring about my ideas to the world, right? And although it was a long journey, I found the answers, and I'm willing to share those with other people who see themselves as kings. This information is only for kings. Not everyone is a king. Not, right? Some people are just built to serve, and if that's you, I don't make fun of you. I wish you well. Hope you live a great life. And when I when I'm in battle against the elites, who, by the way, are trying to take your resources out of your pockets, I will be fighting for you, and I hope you remember that. You had an opportunity to join us, but you decided not to. But I think we're coming to the end of this. I can't be asked to listen to this guy. I don't think he's got any decent information left. I just want to see what his books are. So let me try and find that 48 Laws of Power. His guide to his top 10. Let's see.
Number 9 is The Lean Startup by my friend Eric Ries. Now, fun fact, this book measure, learn, lose, and it's called the Innovator's Dilemma. Initially, and finally, one of the biggest ideas is that organizational structures and their values can impede GPT and Google. And then the newcomer, they come in with this new innovation. Just think about Chat GPT and Google. It came out of nowhere.
There you go. Look, GPT. Yeah, this AI is going to revolutionize. It's going to replace us.
And all of a sudden, Google's trying to respond to massive innovation, and I want that to be the case. This book will give you the framework to make sure that you're always innovating. Those are the 10 books.
Okay, let me just zoom in and have a look. So, How to Win Friends and Influence People, Spin Selling, The 40 Laws of Power, Awaken the Giant Within, Tony Robbins. What's that? Think and Grow Rich. I told you it's going to be there. The Lean Startup, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, Getting Things Done, Innovator's Dilemma, and 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I'm sure they're great reads. I've read like half of them. I've read half of those books, but you're not going to become a king. You're not going to become someone important. You're not going to become rich reading those books. You need to become a subject matter expert. Okay, you need to share your ideas. And sharing your ideas is his own battle, and then you need to test those ideas in real time, get feedback, and self-correct until you get the most potent, optimal ideas. Along the way, you will become a subject matter expert. You'll become famous, and then you're on the true path to becoming a royal, being a king. And then I await you as you decide whether this is a journey for you. And I'll be happy to help you on your journey. I'll be honored to fight alongside you and to become the next ruling class of the world. If that is you, you know where to go to come find me. If you're just watching this for entertainment, then hey, I'm sure you're having fun as well. But until next time, this is Royal Instinct, and I'll see you later.